So suppose you have an angle and you want to measure it. Why do you want to measure it? Well, because it tells you, it just says to you, measure me, and then we get a little. So your angle tells you to measure it, so you have to measure it. So what you can do is you can grab your angle measurement devices from class, and you can hold a few of these up, and you can say, okay, this angle is clearly more than 45 degrees, but it is a little less than 60. Oops, we don't have one exactly. So what we're gonna have to do is grab a protractor. So you get out your collection of protractors. It looks like this. Don't worry, I have more. These are just the 3 I grabbed out of the drawer. And you hold one up and you say, okay, well, this thing clearly has some sort of measurements on it that look like there's a 90 and a 170. So it looks like an angle measurement device. How exactly do we use it? Well, there's a couple key features here. The first one is this center dot right here. The center dot is the vertex of your angle. You want to put it on that. We spin it around. But go ahead and line up this straight line here with one of the legs of your angle here, one of the rays or whatever you want to call it. Put the center in there, line this up. Now the thing is, your angle clearly is pointing somewhere up here in this set of numbers that is clearly something 40, 60, 130, 120. There's 2 sets of numbers. Which one do you use? Well, don't overcomplicate it. Just start at 0 and go up. In this case, 0 is on the inside, so start at 0 and read up. We get 50, we go over here, 51, 52, 52, not quite a half. Let's just call it 52.3 degrees, and we go over here and we label this 52.3 degrees. And that'll work pretty much whatever angle you have. If you have another angle where someone says, they give you an angle like this and you want to measure it, then you get your protractor. Let's use a different one this time. Same idea, take the center mark here, put it right at the where your lines meet, line it up with one of them. You can line it up with this one for a change if you want to, but it doesn't really matter. Just line it up with one of them. Start at 0, wherever the numbers are. Since you lined it up this way, you want to go clockwise around this way. So start at 0, which is on the outside this time, and just read up. You read up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, not quite to 150. If we'd drawn this a little longer, we could see it's 145, 6, 7 and a half, 147 and a half degrees. Just like that. You can even draw in a little angle marking if you want to. So what about the other case where someone gives you an angle, but they're trying to be sneaky about it? So maybe they draw something that looks like this. And you would say, hey, that looks very similar to the angle we just measured. I know how to do this. But wait, they say, no, I want this measurement. Ha ha ha. They're trying to mess with you and give you a problem you cannot solve. Well, you can still do that. There's a couple of different ways. The first way is to realize that a full circle is 360 degrees. So you could measure this angle, and then that has to add up to 360. So you'd grab your protractor again, line it up as best you can. Read up here, start at 0, which again is on the inside, go up to 145 degrees, almost exactly. And so if this is 145 degrees, this one is unknown. We often use the Greek letter theta to represent an unknown angle. It looks like a 0 that is wearing a high-waisted set of pants, maybe just a belt. And then you go ahead and you say, okay, so theta is going to be 360 minus 145 degrees. That's going to leave me with, I don't know, carry the 1. You get 215 degrees is that angle. There is another way, of course. You can just grab your tool that looks like this. This is a full 360 degree measurement tool. It draws circles and arcs for you. It's much more complicated. But same idea. The start in the center goes here. And then you'll rotate this so 0 is lined up on one of these rays. And then, oops, it's going the wrong way, isn't it? So we have to put the 0 over here, actually. But you can see the problem with this tool is that it does not work very well when things go off the page. But either way, you could start at 0 and go around and get all the way up to about 215 degrees as long as it doesn't slip. For professional use, I recommend taping this tool down. However, I've owned this thing for several years and I've used it about 4 times, including this video, so it's clearly not on my list of favorite things.